Hello everyone. As part of today's sessions, we are going to discussing about PHP functions concept. So generally in any language, so function nothing but it is one kind of independent module. So which contains some group of statements. So whenever we are going to calling this function, so it performs some specific task. So that kind of collection of statements, so to which we are going to providing one name, so we generally call as a function. So it is basically a module which is going to containing some collection of statements. So and whenever we are going to calling that function, so it is going to performing some kind of action or some kind of operation. So that one we generally call as function. Okay, so similar to any language, so in PHP also, whenever we are going to using the function concept, so the basic advantage we are going to be having will be, so one thing is reusability. So means we are going to writing the code only one time, so but we can use that code so to perform the same task multiple times. Okay, so that one we are going to calling as reusability. So nothing but writing the code one time and using that one multiple times. Okay, so here that one we generally call as reusability. So and whenever we are going to here using the functions concept, so basically it will improve the readabilityness of our program. So other than that one, so we are having less chances of occurrence of errors. So these are the advantages we are having. So whenever we are going to using the functions concept generally in any kind of language, so the syntax we are going to following, so in order to create a function within our PHP, so will be something like this. So that is, first we need to keep the keyword function, so then followed by we need to give here function name. So within the inside of the function name, inside the parenthesis, we need to provide all parameter list here. So parameter list we need to here separate with commas. Okay, so followed by that one, we need to here open braces. So then we need to keep here closing curly braces. In between that one, so we need to here put the function body. So function body in the sense here, so whatever the statements we are going to be here requiring, so in order to perform the task, so that should be here implemented whenever we are going to calling a function with the name function name here. So this is the basic syntax we are going to here following whenever we are going to creating a function. Okay, so generally if you observe in case of C language, so whenever we are going to using the concept of functions, so first we need to have function declaration, so then we should have here function call, so then followed by that one we should have here function definition. But so in case of PHP, so no need to have function declaration. So only, so we can perform here function definition, so then followed by that one function call. So function definition nothing but, so it is the place where we are going to keeping all the code related to the task we need to perform whenever we are going to calling the function here actually. Okay, so we don't require function declaration, but we require function definition and as well as function call here. So whatever the syntax you are going to be seeing, so it is related to your function definition only. Okay, so and whenever we are going to go going through or learning the concept of the functions, so basically we need to know about few things. So one is what is mean by a parameter, so and what is mean by an argument. Okay, so parameter nothing but, so it is one kind of variable. So simply we can also call as here a temporary variable, so which has been put along with your function name and receiving the values whatever we pass during function call. So that one we generally call as here parameter. Okay, so parameter, so sometime we also call as formal parameter. So whatever it may be, so parameter or formal parameter. So it is one kind of temporary variable, so that we are going to be declaring along with your function name. So and within that particular variable, you are going to be receiving the value, whatever you are going to be passing, so during your function call. So that one we actually call as parameter. So but whereas argument, sometimes which we also call as actual parameter. So it is nothing but, so it is some kind of, either it may be a constant value or it may be a variable, so that has been passed, so while calling the function. So this one we generally call as argument, or it may be actual parameter here. So and one more thing is, so a function can have a return value, or it may not have a return value. So basically, so some functions may return some value and some functions may not return some kind of values. Okay, so if you observe C language, a function can have multiple return statements. The same kind of feature is also possible in case of our PHP language also. Okay, so but the other feature which is here explicitly added, so in case of PHP language is, so generally if you observe in case of C language or Java language, so a function return statement can always return only one value. So but return statement in PHP can return multiple values also. So these are the advantages, are some of the features we are having for PHP function. So basically a function can have multiple return statements. So at the same time, a return statement, whatever we are going to be seeing, can return multiple values at the same time. So generally in case of C or Java or Python, or not in case of Python, so remaining other languages whatever we are having, so always return statement has to here only return one single value. So but in case of here PHP, it can return multiple values also. Okay, so all these features and whatever we are having advantages, so that we discussed till now, so we will here represent with one example here. Okay, so how we can write down or create one function, and how we can call, and what are the different types of parameter passing techniques we are going to be having. So all this one we will be seeing here step by step here. Okay, so first we will see here how we can here create and call one function. Okay, so I am going to saving this function demo program as script. So under where we need to save, C drive, exam folder. So under exam, htdocs. So I am going to here giving the name as fun demo dot php. Okay, so quickly I am going to here including HTML and /HTML tags. So then followed by that one, so I am going to here so adding the header tags. So in between header tag and /header tag, we need to here keep title. So the title I am going to giving as function, so demo concept. So then /title. So then inside followed by the header section, we need to keep here body. So then /body. So in between this one, I am going to here creating one PHP script code here. So actually what is the intention of this particular script is, so first here we need to call one function, so which is not going to taking any parameters, and it is not going to returning any values. Okay, so here we need to here something display like a function we need to take here, so which should not here accept any return parameter, and which should not here return any kind of values here. Okay, so let us say how we can create the function. So syntax we need to use is here, first we need to give the keyword called function, then followed by that we need to give the name of the function. So here parameter list we need to give here. So but for this particular function whatever we are creating, we don't require here parameter list. So actually parameter list is here optional one. Okay, so then inside the function body we need to here run some code here. Okay, so here function keyword we are going to specifying. So then followed by that one I am going to here giving the function name as no parameter. So why? Because it is not taking any kind of parameters. So then inside the function body, so I am going to here writing one statement like echo. So here no parameter function doesn't receive any parameters. So this statement we need to here display. So whenever we are going to calling the function called no param here. Okay, so here then after the no param function I am going to here calling simply no param function. So simply in order to call the function, so give the function name then followed by the parenthesis, then close here with the case of or it may be ended with the semicolon here. Okay, so now go to your exam server, so using localhost, so then followed by that one we need to give here fundemo.php. So you can see the output here. So something like no parameter function does not receive any parameters here. So while calling the no parameter function also we didn't pass actually any kind of arguments, right? So that is the reason. So here no parameter function is not going to receiving any kind of values here or parameters here. Okay, so then followed by that one, so here in order to here deviate with the or separate with the remaining function examples I am going to here so simply breaking the output here, so with the help of one dotted lines here. Okay, so then after that one, so here keep one more function. Okay, so a function which is going to taking parameters, okay, and which is not going to returning any kind of value. Okay, so here param function I am going to taking. So here then followed by that one I am going to here opening and closing the braces. So here while we are going to calling the function called parameter. Okay, so whenever we are going to calling the function called parameter, so actually we are going to here passing two number of values as an argument here. Okay, so let us say the arguments I am going to passing is 20 and as well as 40 here. Okay, so whatever the values we are going to be here passing at the time of creating the or calling the function, actually we generally call as here arguments are the same we also call as actual parameters. Nothing but 20 and as well as 40 we call as here argument or we call as here actual parameter. Okay, so then followed by that one, so inside the function definition of parameter, so since while calling we are going to here passing two number of arguments, so here it requires to declare two number of parameters. Okay, the first parameter variable name I am going to here specifying as p1, the second parameter name I am going to taking as p2 here. Okay, so no need to declare any kind of type here for these parameters. Okay, so means nothing but 20 value will be here received inside the p1 variable, whereas 40 value will be received inside of the p2 variable here, right? So if you simply try to display here the values of p1 and p1, so received parameters are so $p1 and $p2. So if you try to display this statement, so whenever we are going to calling param function, so see the output you will get. Okay, so if you refresh this one, the output you are going to seeing is here received parameters are 20 and 40. Okay, the arguments what we are passing are 20 and 40. The same values are here received inside of p1 and p2, and the same p1 and p2 values so we are going to be here displaying from the inside of the param function. Okay, so then after that one here, so let us say I am going to performing the addition of p1 and p2. So p1 and p2 addition I am going to be performing, and that result I am going to be storing inside the sum variable. Okay, so that sum variable result I am going to here displaying from the inside of the same function called param here. Okay, so here I can write the statement as sum of $p1 and $p2 is the result we are going to be having in the variable called sum here. Okay, so then try to display here a break statement. So after that one, so see the output. So along with the statement, received parameters are 20 and 40. So sum of 20 and 40 is 60. It is going to be displaying here. Okay. So actually we are receiving here arguments into parameters called P1 and P2, and then we are going to displaying them. So then followed by that one, we are going to performing here sum, and that sum we are going to displaying from the inside of the same function called param here. Okay. So then followed by that one, so I am going to here taking one more function. Okay. So one more function I want to here take. So here that function name I am going to calling as RET function. Okay, so basically, so what is the usage of this RET function is nothing but, so it has to return, actually it has to receive some kind of parameter values. So then on top of that one, it has to perform the multiplication. So then after performing the multiplication operation, whatever the result we are going to be obtaining, we need to return back to the caller here. Okay, so let us say here we are going to having return function. Okay, RET_fun. So while calling the return function, so we need to pass here two arguments. Okay, the arguments now here I am going to taking our variables. So in previous case, while calling param function, we passed here two arguments which are values here. But in this case, I am going to passing two variables. Let us say I am going to taking as v1, so whose value is 3. So then followed by that one, I am taking one more variable called v2, so whose value is here 4. So then I am going to calling return function. So by passing the parameters or arguments called $v1 and as well as $v2 here. Okay. So then after that one here, whatever the result we are going to be obtaining, so that should not be here written, or it should not be here displayed from the inside of return function itself. Actually, this return function has to here return out of the function. Okay, so that result you need to here store as product. Okay, we are going to calling return function by passing two variable values as an argument, and whatever the result we are obtaining, we are storing in a variable called prod here. Okay, so then followed by that one, so I want to here display the same output. Okay, so product of, so $v1 and $v2 is $prod. Okay, so then give the break statement. So here, okay, so after that one, so here if you observe, so actually v1 and v2 we are going to passing here. So that v1 and v2 should be received inside the return function. Okay, so let us say those two parameters I am going to calling as p1 and as well as p2. Okay, so now we need to perform the multiplication of p1 and as well as p2, $p1 into $p2. The result whatever we are going to be obtaining, so that one I am going to storing in a variable called res. Okay, whatever the result we are obtaining here, instead of displaying that one, so we need to here return return, return, so then followed by res. Okay, so this res value will be here written from the return function, and it will be stored or assigned to prod variable here. Okay, so since we are passing here 3 and 4 as an argument for return function, 3 will be stored inside P1, 4 will be stored inside P2. Here P1 into P2 means 3 into 4 will be performed, and result will be having here 12. So that same 12 value will be here stored inside the product. Okay, the output we are expecting is product of 3 and 4 is here 12. Okay, so in previous case we passed constants as an argument. In this case we passed variables as an argument here. Okay, so then followed by that one, so now we are going to here having here one special feature called so generally whatever we discussed already here. So since here in PHP a return statement can also here return multiple values. So but multiple values whatever it is going to be returning would not be here written as an individual values, but all those multiple values that it has to here return, so should be in the form of here one kind of array. Okay, so for receiving that particular array whatever written by the function, we need to use here one list function. Okay, so which can have any number of parameters here. Okay, so list is used to receive multiple values written by any function here. So that is the use of list function here. Okay, so we can see the usage of this list function in live. Okay, so actually if you observe here, I am going to taking here one particular function called multi-return. Okay, so multi-return I am going to here taking as an function. So this particular multi-return value or function is going to receiving basically two number of parameters. One is p1, the second one is p2 here. Okay, so then followed by that one here. So I am going to here calling multi-return function. Okay, so multi-return function I am going to be calling here. At the time of calling this multi-return function, we are going to passing two values as an arguments here. Okay, so both v1 and as well as v2. v1 value is 3, v2 value is 4 here. Okay, so v1 will be here received inside p1, v2 will be received inside p2 here. Okay, so then after that one here, what we are going to doing is here, so first we are going to performing the difference between p1 and as well as p2 value. Okay, so then followed by that one, I am going to here performing, so product of p1 into p2. Okay, whatever the subtraction we got, so we are going to taking in a variable called res. But so these return values, whatever we are going to be returning, it should be in the form of an array here. Actually we need to here return two values. One is subtraction result, the second one is product result. Okay, so but individually we can't here return them here. So for that reason, whatever the result we got for subtraction and as well as product operation, we need to store within one array. So within the result array at 0th index, we are storing the result of difference between p1 and p2. Within the same array, result of 0 at the index 1, we are going to storing the result of the product of p1 and as well as p2 here. Okay, so then followed by that one, using the return statement, we are going to here returning the array values. Okay, so whatever the result array containing, that is the difference of p1 and p2 at 0th index and product of p1 and p2 at first index, so we need to here receive within our actual program. Okay, so whatever the result we are going to be obtaining when we are going to calling multi-return function, so we need to here receive within two separate variables. Here we are not going to using any array, so since it is returning two values, so two variables we need to take as an argument for this particular list function here. Okay, so simply we can take as list of so first one we can give is since first value we are having at 0th index and it is the result of subtraction operation, so we can take as a variable called sub. Okay, so then after that one, so we are having the result of product of p1 and p2, but since already we are having prod variable here, so here I am going to taking one more variable called mul here. Okay, so product, instead of that we are taking mul here. So result of subtraction will be stored in sub, result of product will be here stored in mul here. Okay, so display the same thing. Okay, so echo, so what we can display is subtraction and multiplication results are, so they have been stored in sub and they have been stored in multiplication variable. So display the same values as your output. Okay, so and then see the output what you got. So if you see here, okay, somewhere we are having p1 p2, $p1 and p2. So here we used small variables, but here we used capital variables. Use small variables p1 p2. So you can see the result as subtraction and multiplication results are -1 and 12. So 3 minus 4 equal to here 3 minus 4 equal to -1, 3 into 4 equal to 12 here. Okay, so then after that one, the last feature we are going to be having in case of functions is, So using default arguments. Okay, so default arguments nothing but, so actually, so suppose a function is having, a function requires 2 arguments while calling, but let us say we passed only 1 argument. Okay, so in that case generally what will happen means it will shows one kind of error. Okay, so but instead of displaying that error, so what you want to do is here, so you need to, when less number of arguments are passed, in that case for missing arguments you can provide some default values inside parameters. So these parameters are called as default arguments. Okay, so simply not only for only 2 or 3 parameters, whatever it may be. So suppose I am going to taking here one function. Okay, so the function what I am going to taking is here. So let me say here I am going to creating one function. Okay, so default arg function. So actually it is going to requiring 2 parameters, p1 and p2. Okay, so here I am going to performing sum operation. So $sum equal to, so $p1, so then $p2. Okay, so then whatever the result you got, I am going to here returning that one. So we are going to basically receiving 2 values as an argument. Those 2 values we are storing in p1 and p2. On top of p1 and p2 we are going to performing sum, and that sum result we are going to be returning here. Okay, so now what I am going to doing is here, so default function, so let us say I am going to here calling by passing 2 values. One is 10 and as well as the second one is 20. So and whatever the result we got, I am going to storing in a variable called result here. Okay, so now I am going to displaying result echo. So when default, actually the name of the function is default arg. So here we need to call default arg. So when default arg is called with 2 arguments, okay, the result is, so what are the 2 arguments we passed here, 10 and 20. Okay, result has been stored in result. Okay, so observe here, so since we passed here 10 and 20, the result you are going to be expecting is 30. When default arg is called with 2 arguments, the result is 30. Why? Because we passed here 20 and as well as 10 as an argument. So let us say if you are going to here calling the same default arg function. Okay, so but instead of passing 2 arguments, only I am going to now passing one single argument called 10. So means basically if you are running this one, it has to show some kind of error. If you see here, you got here one error called fatal error, uncut argument count error. So too few arguments to function default arg here. One passed in this particular function, but exactly 2 expected. The same thing whatever we told. Okay, so default arg function is expecting 2 parameters here. So but only we passed 1 argument, right? So because of that you are able to see here some kind of error. So but instead of that one, even if you are going to passing only 1 argument, so it has to perform the operation, so by taking the second parameter value as a default value. So whenever suppose you are not passing the second argument, so in that case p2 value always it has to take as 5. you want to simply assign like that one. So in that case, so for that particular parameter, you need to assign the value equal to 5 here. Okay, so now, so when default arg is called with only one argument, so the result whatever we are going to be obtaining is, so the argument single whatever we passed is 10. So default argument we take as 5. So 10 plus 5 means you are going to getting the result as 15. So see the result. When default arg is called with only one argument, the result we got is 15. Okay. So these are the features we are going to be having available within PHP functions here. Okay. So this is the demonstration of the features of basic features of PHP function in case of PHP programming language here or scripting language here. Okay. So then followed by that one, so we are going to discussing about two more techniques, so that we are going to be using in order to here pass as an argument for any function. Okay, so parameter passing techniques in case of PHP language. Okay, so basically we are going to having here two techniques. One is call by value. The second one we are going to be having is call by reference. Okay, so call by value nothing but, so here we are going to simply passing the values or variables itself as an argument for any function. Okay, so when we are going to passing this argument for any function, so changes that we are going to be making to the, that are made to formal parameters. So formal parameters nothing but our actual parameters. No, I mean to say whatever the parameters we are going to be taking inside the function names here. So changes that are made to formal parameters won't have impact on original arguments. Okay, so means whenever we are going to changing any kind of formal parameter values, so that won't be having impact on the actual arguments here. So that kind of technique we generally call as call by value. Okay, so instead of passing the values or variables itself as an argument to any function, so if we are going to be passing the address of variables instead of passing the values or variables names, so here if you are going to be passing the address of variable itself as an argument for any function, so that one we generally call as call by reference. Okay, so changes whatever we are going to be making to formal parameters will have impact on the actual arguments also. So means if you are going to changing formal parameter, so it will be also having the impact on our original or actual parameters also. Okay, the same thing we are going to be here discussing with one example PHP script here. Okay, so save as. I am going to taking one more PHP script. So here we can take as parameter passing, the name of the script here. Okay, so here instead of functions demo, I can give as parameter passing. Okay, so remove all this code inside the PHP script. Okay, so simply I am going to taking here variable 1, so whose value I am taking as 10. I am taking here one more variable called 20 here. Okay, so let us say I am going to here having two functions. One function I am going to taking as call by val. Okay, so then followed by that one I am going to here taking one more function called call by reference. Okay, so here actually we are having two variables. So here v1 and v2 we are having. Okay, so v1 we are going to passing as an argument for call by value function. Okay, so v2 I am going to passing as an argument for call by reference function. While passing v1, directly variable name itself we are passing. While passing v2, so here actually we are going to using call by reference method here. So means we need to here take the address of the variable name here. Okay, so how we can do that one means, so before doing that one actually, so we need to here display both the v1 and v2 values. Okay, so v1 value, so before calling call by val function is $v1 and display that one break. Okay, so in the similar line also here display v2 value. So v2 value before calling call by reference function is $v2. Okay, so then followed by that one, so we need to call here actually call by val and call by reference also. Okay, so after calling these two function also display the same v1 and v2 value. So v1 value after calling call by val function, v2 value after calling call by reference function here. Okay, so here in case of call by value we need to pass only at the time of calling call by val function, we need to pass here simply variable name of v1. Okay, so this is call by value. So at the same time while calling the call by reference function, so we need to give here name of the variable v2. So here while calling we don't require address here. Inside the function definition for the parameter we need to provide the reference operator. Okay, so actually in case of call by val or call by reference function calling, so simply name of the variable name is giving enough here. Okay, so now call by value has to here receive v1 value into some parameter called p1. Okay, so call by reference here function has to receive v2 value, but here instead of receiving the v2 value we need to actually receive the address of the v2. So address of the v2 how we can receive means, so simply give the v2 variable name and we are assuming that it is stored in p2 variable. So address of p2 variable nothing but we need to use the ampersand operator before the name of the variable, simply give address of the operator here. Okay, so what is the meaning of this particular statement is, so address of p2, within that one we are going to actually storing the value. Okay, so then inside this one what we are doing is actually p1 is receiving v1 value. So v1 value is what, 10. So that 10 value is actually now existing in case of call by val. So but that p1 value I am going to changing to 30. So after that one I am going to here displaying this v1 value. So from the inside of the function call by value here. Okay, so v1 value inside call by val function is, so that has been stored inside p1. Okay, so now you will see the p1. Okay, so then followed by that one, so the same kind of modification I am going to also doing for p2. So p2 value I am going to changing to 40. So again display v2 value from the inside of the call by reference function. Okay, so v2 value so as of now has been stored in p2. Okay, so now display that one. Instead of call by val here we need to give call by reference. Okay, so if you see the output, what is the name of the file? Parameter passing. So give parameter passing dot php. The output if you see is here. Initially before calling v1 value is 10. Okay, so then after calling call by val function v1 value is 10, but if you observe inside v1 it has been modified to 30. So actually here v1 value is initially 10, the same value it has displayed. So then while calling, okay, call by value whenever we are going to calling, inside that one it has been changed to 30. Okay, so for that is the reason it is showing as v1 value inside call by value is 30. But so after completion of call by val function, if you try to again display v1, so it is going to showing as 10 only, means whatever the changes that we are going to making to the actual parameter, I mean formal parameter, so that is not having impact on your actual parameter. So this is P1, which is your formal parameter. So this is V1, which is your actual parameter. Nothing but it is parameter, it is your argument. So changes making to the parameter doesn't have impact on your argument. Okay. So but if you observe the V2 output, V2 value before calling is 20. Okay. So inside call by reference, we change that one to 40. So means inside that one, it is showing like 40. But even after completion of call by reference, V2 value, if you observe, is it is showing as 40. So nothing but in case of call by reference, whatever the changes we are making to the parameters, nothing but your formal parameters, it is having impact on your arguments. Nothing but your original arguments are actual parameters. So that is the difference between call by value and as well as call by reference. Okay. So then we will go for recursion concept. Okay. So recursion nothing but so calling the same function from the inside of again the same function. Okay. So repeatedly. So we generally call that one as recursion. Okay. So I am not going to discussing about recursion concept much, as already you know and you have studied multiple times. So simply I am going to demonstrate one so simple recursion script. So where we are going to finding the factorial of the given number, so using recursion concept. Okay. So simply here I am taking saving this one as recursion function dot php. Okay. So whatever the number you are going to be receiving should be received from the user. So from the user, if you want to receive that one, means we need to use the forms concept here. Okay. So form slash form. So here the method using which we are going to receiving the data is post. So take here post. So then followed by that one. So here we need to display one message like enter a number. Okay. So then input. So since type is the number we are giving, so take as number. So then name of that particular field I am going to taking as here. So some num. Name of the field. Okay. So that one we need to receive inside your PHP script code here. So inside the PHP script code, so let us say that one I want to store in a variable called n here. Okay. So within the n, I want to store whatever the value we are going to be receiving from the user, which has been stored in a super global variable array called post here. So at the index called num here. Okay. So after that one, using the recursion concept, we need to here find out the factorial of the given number. Okay. So function I am going to calling as here recurse function. Okay. So since we are going to here finding out the factorial of a given number, so we need to pass here only one argument. So here we need to take one parameter. So parameter I am taking as p. Okay. So here let us say I am going to calling as recursion instead of recursion function. So better to take this one as factorial. Okay. So here we need to call the function called factorial. So we need to find out the factorial of n here. So on the result, let us say I am going to storing in a variable called fact here. Okay. So using recursion we need to do this one. Okay. So in order to here find out the factorial of a given number using recursion, so first here check whatever the n value we received and we are going to storing in p. So if it is equal to 0, RR, if p value is equal to 1. Okay. So if p value is equal to 0 and p value is equal to 1, so in that case we need to return the result as 1. Else we need to here return. So factorial of n we can find out using recursion like n into n minus 1 factorial. So return n in the sense here p. So return $p into factorial of $p minus 1. Okay, so see the output here, recursion function. Recursion function dot php. So here you can discard this one, enter a number you are giving as 5. Oh wait, there is something error. Function factorial $p, function factorial $p minus 1. So here actually you need to have submit button, input type equal to submit, so then name equal to submit. So 5. Little bit modification we need to do. Underscore post of 0, return 1, else return $p into factorial of. So here name of the function we need to give as factorial. So let us say 5 I am giving. Okay, so actually we need to also display the result here. Sorry for the inconvenience. Echo the factorial of $n is result has been stored in fact, $fact. Factorial of 5 is 120. Let us say you are giving as 4. Factorial of 4 is 24. Let us say you are giving as 3. Factorial of 3 is 6 here. Let us say you are giving as 1. Factorial of 1 is 1 here. So this is how you will find out the factorial here. Okay. So then the last concept that you want to, or we have to discuss is, actually we need to discuss user defined library function. Okay, so generally library functions nothing but they are the predefined functions. Okay, so even users can also here create library functions using require underscore once function. Okay, so simply what we need to do is here, so actually whatever the function we generally create inside any PHP script or any program, so basically it can be used inside that particular program or that particular script only. So whenever you want to use a function which is present in one particular PHP file, so in another PHP file, means you are writing one function in one particular script, but that function should be used in another script also. Okay, so in that case you need to make that one as a standard library function. So that standard library function, how we can make that one means using require underscore once function. Okay, so let us say this file I am going to saving as factfun. So factfun.php. Okay, so this one. So simply in this file what I am going to doing is here I am going to writing as fact function. Simply we are going to here writing the code for function. Which function? Factorial function. We are not going to calling any factorial function and we are not displaying any particular output here. So simply if you observe here, we are going to having here one function called factorial, which is receiving one particular argument and stored in p. That p value we are checking equal to 0 or 1. If it is 1 or 0, then it is returning as 1. Otherwise we are going to returning as p into factorial of p minus 1. Okay, so then after that one what we are going to doing is here, so we are going to taking one another PHP file called user library.php. Okay, user library.php. Okay, so this particular function PHP script name I am going to taking as user library. Okay, so here what I am going to doing is here, so in this particular file, so basically I want to receive one input value from the user. Okay, so for this one I am going to taking one form. So form method equal to post. So then after that one slash form. So inside this one I am taking here one statement like enter a number. Okay, so then followed by that one I am going to here writing one text box field. So here input type equal to, we need to take as number. So then followed by that one, so here name we need to take as num. So then I am going to taking here one submit button, input type equal to submit. So name equal to also I am taking as submit. Okay, so then followed by that one, what I am doing is here, so instead of writing the code for factorial function, so whatever the code we already have, already we have in case of factfun.php. So that we are going to be here registering with our user library PHP script here, require underscore once of factfun.php. Okay, so after that one, so here what we are doing is here, so whatever the input value you submitted using the text number field, so here we need to receive in a variable called n. Okay, so n equal to $_post of at the index called num, whatever we are having, that one we need to store in n here. Okay, so after that one we need to register this one. So then followed by that one we need to call here simply factorial function, factorial of $n we need to call here. Okay, whatever the result we are going to be obtaining, we are storing in a variable called fact here. Okay, so then display the result, echo the factorial of $n is $fact. Okay, so if you observe here, we didn't write the code for factorial. Already factorial code is available in a particular PHP script called factfun.php. So that script we are going to registering with our user library script, then followed by that one, so we are going to calling the function of factorial, which is available in this particular file called factfun.php. So if you observe the execution of this particular two scripts, we don't use actually factfun.php at all. So simply we are going to calling here or executing user library script here. Okay, so see the output. So from here browser I am giving here user library.php. It is going to asking for a number. I am giving as 4. So it is showing the output as factorial of 4 is 24. So then giving 3, it is going to showing the output as 6 here. If you see the file name I had used is here user library.php. So I am not going to using here the file name called funfact.php or factfun.php at all. Simply we are going to using this one inside the user library file itself. Okay, so that was about functions concept. Thank you everyone.